This video will demonstrate how I hold a guitar pick. So the basic idea when holding the pick is I curl my index finger just a little bit. It's not all the way, kind of like halfway. And I place my thumb right over this first part here. So that's what it looks like when I'm not holding the pick. In fact, I can actually play guitar fairly well just by holding my hand in this position. So getting the pick involved, what you do is you're going to take the fat part of the pick here. Okay, so you got the skinny part and then you got the fat part. So the fat part is going to go across that first portion of your finger, and then the thumb goes right over the top. So this way you have only a little bit showing. And what a lot of beginners do is they just grab the pick like this and they have a huge chunk of it sticking out. That is going to cause a lot of control issues as you get playing. So it's important to only have a little bit of the pick showing. Now, I thought it was interesting how I believe Doug Marks of Metal Method, the way he described it, basically he has, you put your finger out like that, put the pick on, and then just go down straight like that. So he says it's kind of like an extension of your index finger. I would just like to take it a little bit further and say if you do it this way, it's a cool way to set it up. So you just got your finger out there flat, put the pick on like this and down, and then I curl it up a bit like that. So that could be one way to approach going into it, if that helps. So thank you, Doug Marks, for that little tidbit. And anyone watching this, I do recommend checking out Metal Method. It's a really solid instruction. And so anyway, so basically, yeah, take the pick, have the point pointing along your index finger, put your thumb over the top, and then curl it up a bit. So I find it easier to play with the index finger curled a bit. And a lot of stuff I do, I'm actually using my thumb. Sometimes I'll use my wrist to pick, sometimes I actually use my whole arm, but for a lot of things, I'm just kind of twisting my finger around like this. Now, kind of pick I use, sick pick, a twisted one. It actually makes playing faster simply by physics because of the twisted angle of the pick here. It reduces the distance from string to string. So, if playing fast is something important to you, I highly recommend these picks. I absolutely cannot stand using flat picks anymore. I can't do it. I mean, I can use it, but I can't stand the way it feels. So, but anyway, the same thing applies. Just have very little of the pick showing. And the reason why is because if you have too much of the pick sticking out, you're going to have stuff like this happen. And you see how much distance I have to go from string to string in order to move? Now, you could be saying, well, why don't you just hold it like this? Sure, but that makes it way harder to control. When you have very little of the pick showing, then you are able to control the pick better and move from string to string a lot faster. Because you're just letting the tip of the pick glide against the string. That's what's happening there. It's like the faster and faster I go, it's really just a matter of gliding against the string. You don't want to have too much in there to have to go through. You just want to glide against that string when you're playing. Another reason why to have the pick like this is so you can do pinch harmonics a lot easier. And a pinch harmonic is that squeal. So you hear Zakk Wylde do those a lot. So what you do for the pinch harmonic is you roll your thumb over, so this way when you go to pick, it's like your thumb and the pick hit pretty much the same time. So here it is without the pinch, here it is with a pinch. And I do rotate my wrist just slightly this way to make sure that I hit that pick and thumb at the same time. So if you're holding it like this, there's no way you can hit a pinch harmonic because you won't be able to play the pick and the thumb at the same time. So that's another reason why. Keep the thumb very close to the edge so you have more control, you'll be able to play faster and more accurate, And you'll be able to do the pinch harmonic, aka the squeal. Now, as far as where you place your hand on the guitar when you're picking, I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So eventually you'll get into things like palm mutes, which makes the strings really muffly. That's no palm mute. That is a palm mute. And you'll need to have your hand close to the bridge where the strings connect in order to make that happen. However, when I start playing my fast stuff, I find it, I naturally just kind of drift over this way closer to the neck. However, if you're going to be palm mute and stuff like that, you're going to have to move your hand over there. But super fast, shreddy things like that, especially the higher strings, it doesn't sound so good. I think palm mutes just sound better for more rhythmic type stuff. Stuff like that. So, it really depends on the sound you're going to go for. So, another thing that's kind of cool is if you're on clean, in other words, no distortion, depending on where you pick can change the sound, and this happens on acoustic as well, but like, say you're higher up here on the string, the further back you go, like the thinner the sound is. So where you strum or where you pick does have something to do with what sound you want to have. So as long as you have very little of the pick showing, like I showed earlier, I think that's the most important part. You can kind of pick wherever you want. Heck, you can even pick above, above the neck if you really wanted to. Feels kind of awkward. I don't recommend it. So I wouldn't concern yourself too much with where to have your hand. If you really want to have a target, I would just say pick in the middle. Pick in the middle right here. Like if you have two pickups, like in between the pickups, good place to go. If you have an acoustic, do it over the sound hole. If you have three pickups, usually like run like here, here, and here. And maybe like pick in between those two. So pick that as a target if you really want one. If you have any questions with this or anything music related, just send me an email. I'll be happy to help. And thank you for watching.